And for the criticisms out there for like my buddy John, regardless of what you guys think, social media wise, regardless of what you think, like with podcasting, John's a good guy.
He's like, oh, I don't know. I'm just depressed. I didn't know if that was. I said, no, why don't you go read the goddamn thread, you idiot?
You don't know how to read, you fucking moron.
He probably doesn't.
He treats me like gold.
And then he tried calling me tonight. I didn't pick the phone up because I want to talk to this dumbass. I'm not going to be stuck on the phone with you for an hour wasting my time to listen to you whine and complain about your life.
He's a true friend to me.
Shut up, Christopher. You suck.
And it doesn't matter about click farms or whatever, which is bullshit, by the way. But if you guys believe that, then that's you. But when it comes to the person,
you'll be canned in the next week. You're gone in the next week, buddy. So
when it comes to the way he treats me,
when you send me your next show, I'm going to tell you that's the last one.
Guess what? John is a freaking friend.
Go do something else for yourself, man. Go back to Anchor.
And that's all that matters to me.
I'm not doing charity cases no more, man.
So I'm just saying, guys.
Shut up, Christopher. You suck.
I think Joe wants to swing on them in the nude while he sword fights Hughley and Mike Durbin and the other guy, Hambone, while they're all on swinging vines.
Like the swing on your vine.
What else you got?
All right.
And I would be remiss if I didn't bring up your appearances on the show that we all love, and that's near and dear to our heart, and that is Get My Go, led by the creative control team of the incredibly talented video editor Mike Durbin, the head in charge Joe Feeney, and really the lifeblood Husey, who's just a crazy son of a bitch. Those were fun shows to watch. Did you have fun recording with those guys?
Yeah, I did. And I remember, God, it might have been a year or so ago. I don't remember. I was talking with Joe, and I said, "Why are you giving this guy publicity?" I'm like, you're above him. You know, you're bigger. You're putting him over by mentioning him, and just ignore him. And I didn't get it. I get it now. I was wrong. Right. You know, this show was brilliant, I think.
And he would always twist his hands and yell chickens like he was choking the chicken, flogging the dolphin.
I'm the star of that show.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, he says it so like he's proud of himself.
I think those guys are getting a little too big for their britches, so Daddy's got to smack them back down.
I bet you that show's going to end up with all them arguing with each other and the show being canceled.
And then I'll have a show where I talk shit on them. They'll have a show.
It's an amazing show, and Mike Durbin is such a great video editor. How could you not love Get My Go? It's just it's an entertaining hour every week.
Rumor had it, I'm going to see if you can confirm or deny this, that the Get My Goo was coming over to Patreon, bro. Is that coming to the channel because of the popularity?
No.
Okay. I heard a rumor you're going to change your Instagram to Disco Master GMG.
Disco Master GMG?
Yeah, for Get My Go.
I'm out of here. Not for supporting that show.
I say goodbye.
All right. Goodbye, Vince.
Goodbye.
I mean, the way Mike put stuff together in the beginning with clips from you and Vince or Disco and Conan or now he even had Chad and Francine. It's just the stuff that Mike does is fantastic, the way he intertwines it. But it's not only funny to listen to them and how they break it down, but visually it's a fantastic thing that Durbin puts together. He's very, very good at what he does.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's done better work than he's doing right now on that show. I don't know if he's self-taught. Watching some of the stuff now, you think he was professionally trained at it. But I think all three of them, they're so different that they each fill a different role on that show that it fits perfectly. You know, Joe will, Joe's funny obviously, but he's more the straight man on the show with the facts. Husey, I'm laughing all day long at freaking Husey, and Durbin puts the thing together like a masterpiece. So I think that's a great team. They have good chemistry the way that they do things,
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Yeah.
Who are the who are the regulars each week on Get My Go?
Durbin, Husey, and myself.
And you have guests every week, or
not
just
every week?
So who has been guests on the show so far?
Jeff Lane, Ben Hameen, and then other guys that were involved with that with Wrestling with Reality. Rad Rob has been on there.
Who?
And
wait a minute, who?
I'm gonna have to go through the list here. We had Jeff Yapunsik was on there as well. Don't forget him.
Who?
Who is that?
Well, he was a listener of the Wrestling with Reality.
When we say who, it means like who the fuck
you
is
want to
that?
know? I thought we were just knowing everybody. He was a listener like one of the few real listeners that Wrestling with Reality had, and they turned against him and started talking shit on him. So he was happy to come on and do the same. Chad, the Chadster from Two Man Power Trip, was on for 2 episodes.
What a brutal name, Chad the Chadster.
Nick Aldis wasn't on the show, but Nick Aldis did shout it out.
He didn't shout it out.
I just want to say real quick that that really gets my goat.
I think what Nick was doing is him being that cool. He kind of like flippantly like threw the term out there like in a condescending way, and you guys embraced it because Nick is cool and actually said "get my goat." So like you, I think promoted that. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that.
I went back to like Hami media groups, emails and stuff like that, Twitter, and I did find like a hey, introduction, like we're wrestling with reality, because I was trying to see if I could get on the show, like, hey, maybe I've got something in here. I can be like, oh, he reached out to Hami media group and we had a conversation.
I don't think a lot of people give Husey the credit. Like I honestly think he's a comedic genius. The way how quick stuff comes to his head immediately, he'll immediately respond to something with the funniest thing I ever heard. Like he had planned this out, but they're listening to this, for the first time. Like I really think the guy, he's got talent to be a big star in doing something funny. I hope the right person, sees him one day, because the guy's really talented in my opinion.
Hambone's been on there. Those were
Jesus,
the high strung episodes. And don't forget the Aussie guy, Dean Broso, was on there.
Ooh.
Well, he was a co-host on some of the Wrestling with Reality shows, and they had a falling out, believe it or not. And Felicia Rose did the intro for the show this week, which was very nice of her.
Like every week, under the guise of Get My Go, you're doing like a train wreck show every single week. Is that right, Joe? Would you consider that a train wreck show,
yes.
Conan? Like all these no names and Hugely and Durbin. Let me ask you a question. Behind the scenes, do you guys have creative meetings or like talk, or you just show up and you do the show?
It's different every week. Sometimes I would come in with clips. Mike does it a lot now because he does all the editing, video editing.
The name is brilliant.
It is.
Like I honestly wonder if that phrase was never uttered, and whoever caught it and said whoever said that needs to be the show name might be the business decision of the year. Like that is such a catchy name,
Absolutely.
Yeah, he said, "Congrats on the 500,000 downloads. We're avid listeners of all you guys. If you guys never need help or anything over there on your shows at any level, please let me know. We would love to help in any way you all might need help. All my best, John."
If you need help, like this is Johnny fucking podcasting asking HMG, who has way more actual legit downloads, not ones that he fucking paid for at Click Farms, asking you if you wanted help. What an asshole!
That was August 19th of 2018. He sent that, and this was my response. Thanks for the kind words and support.
I mean, all joking aside, he produces a good show. The video, it's got music and all these drop-ins, and it's impressive. So, but
it's a good show about a dumb subject.
Yeah.
So what's for
I knew eventually people were going to hear like Feeney, and then they love it whenever I talk about Wanglin and bury his ass. So
we got to make the intro the cold open, so we got to make the cold open on the net.
That's right.
Get my go.
Yeah, that would be a lifelong dream of mine to make a cold open of. I mean, you get it just about every week.
Let's do the countdown. Let's get right on into it, and we are going to go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and play.
Yeah, and hey, you know what? If you think you get my go to that man, he gets my go. This kid, man, he gets my go.
All right, Husey, you're gonna tap out here.
I could do another bit, but I could give you about another 15, 20 minutes.
All right, I'm going to bring Hambone on.
Oh, great.
Let me message Hambone.
All right, I'm going to get a Snizak.
All right. Ooh. And Husey, we're getting so fucking worn out from this shit. We need some new energy in here. So we're going to bring in our great good friend. Not our best friend, our great good friend. Hambone, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Hambone, we were discussing this yesterday because we both listened to this episode, and you pointed out some things to me that I missed somehow. So,
right.
Yeah, we're going to listen to those things too.
It should be very entertaining.
Here he comes. There he is.
Feeny.
The Philly fag.
All right, so this is the part 2 of their episode. It dropped the day after, and here they go.
News, your gossip, your rumors for the week in the world of professional wrestling, and then we're going to close the show out talking about our favorite tag teams of all time. So, Chris, how you doing? You ready for part 2, buddy?
Brother, I am ready. I got the rocket fuel inside of me. You know what we're going to do? We're going to get Hulk Hogan into a plane. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to nosedive that son of a bitch. And we're going to have some fun tonight. And if we crash and we find a place that's exciting and that's fun and that it's an escape from reality, then by God, we reached our goal. Oh, yeah, baby. Let's have some fun.
What's it gonna take for them to edit the thing and get the audio levels working? You can't make out what he's boring us about.
There's no way he listens back to this before releasing it. There's no way. You can't understand anything, man.
He did that for a short time, like with her stable. I mean, I'm just saying, man, like the sky is the limit for her. And for the people out there that simply think that me and John, that we're just a bunch of horn dogs and like we are very old fashioned, we're not. We just see things for what they are and how people they really, really think. Because let's just be blunt here. Men, they can claim all they want. Hey, we're for these equal rights and for women to be treated a certain way. But deep down, men, they think within a certain primal way. And that's just a part of their DNA. So just throwing that out there. Sex will always sell.
Do you guys think of the two of them as some old horn dogs?
I definitely think that John Wineland is horny. But not for, well, whatever. I love that Chris Martin's giving us advice on sex appeal. Yeah. Did this guy, he looks like he survived the fire.
This guy went on his podcast and talked about watching hours and hours of porn at a time.
What a disgraceful human being.
Yeah. Who needs more than 90 seconds of it anyway?
Well, let's see where it goes for this guy's career, Chris, because if there's somebody who should never be on social media in any way, shape, or form, it's Lars Sullivan. This guy, I mean, I'm scratching my head here. I just don't get it.
John is projecting from his own experience and what he himself should do by saying, Lars Sullivan's the last person who should ever be on social media. No, you're projecting that because that's what you should do, John.
Yeah. Plus, it sounded like someone farted.
Yeah, there's a lot of background cracks and snorts and pops and stuff. Yeah,
that's probably just the way fucking Martin talks now.
So fucking dumb as this human being is with the shit that he sends to people and has done. It is what it is.
He's a closeted homosexual that it tries to cover up his gay tendencies with views geared towards white supremacy. We forgive him for the whole gay porn thing. We forgive him for like the whole white supremacy thing. And then he comes back supposedly to like a major for like a major push. The appeal, that's not there for me. I can give two shits.
I'm glad that he forgives him for the gay porn. Why does that need forgiveness anyway? You think he's such a this is probably for both of them, such a deep Bible thumper? You think he's one of those guys that believes that gays go to hell? I think Martin may, just the way he said that. He probably tries to read it to the letter, even though someone has to probably read it to him. But that was kind of disturbing.
Yeah. It's just ironic talking about closeted homosexuals.
Then one day later, literally one day after he gets re-debuts, he gets caught with his pants down and probably literally and figuratively. So, John, carry it away, brother.
Well, you mentioned some of his prior committing offenses that he's made. The gay porn thing came out that he had done homosexual pornography and had been in it.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing. That's nothing. That's people's business, what they want to do. But when you're in that type of business and wrestling, and you're in a publicly traded company's eyes, like those are they don't want porn actors typically. So he had a history. I don't know if he told and disclosed it or not, but it got out there. But before that, he had his issues where his mental health wasn't there and he couldn't handle the pressure, ended up going home for like 6 months, 8 months, and trying to get his mind right after he got called up and was starting to get a push. Within less than a month of getting called up the first time, he had to be taken off TV for a long period of time, 6-8 months, because he just couldn't handle the pressure of it. Then it resurfaces things that he had put on a bodybuilding.com post years ago with awful homosexual comments and just derogatory things that he was saying about homosexuals and people of other races and just awful stuff. It was, in his defense, 10 years before, 8 years before.
You hear him wheezing in between every sentence?
He's getting real excited.
I like men. I've always liked men, and I don't feel bad about it.
Like, yeah, maybe it's an excited breathing because of the topic, but all I hear is habba-dabba-da, habba-dabba-da.
This is just a trend with this guy. And then this weekend, like you said, I don't even think it was a day after he debuted on SmackDown, because it comes out on Saturday. He was harassing this girl. She has some type of like fitness app of some sorts that she does. And, you know, he's a big guy, right? He's a strong guy. He looked in really good shape.
He talks about fitness. Do you think that Wangman's into fitness?
I wouldn't. No, that's not the first.
Because I heard he's always trying to fit his cock in his mouth.
Oh.
So he sends it to this woman online who has his company, and Instagram messages her in private. Was asking about the program that she has. So here's from some of the Instagram messages right here. So Lars asks her, "How much is your booty program? If I was a woman, I would definitely heed your advice on booty sculpting." Okay.
Boo.
Yeah. Okay. Like, wow. Okay. Way to pick up chicks, man. Like, if that's what you're trying to do, like, that's a great way to pick up chicks and get denied right off the bat. Well, she responds back.
Okay. Would you rather take advice from John in picking how to pick up women, or podcasting, or truth, or being honest?
Yeah, see, it's just so many times in that the voices he says, the words he chooses to say in that voice of his, it's like watching the best of Will and Grace.
And what gets me about this discussion is they're criticizing and talking about someone else's mental health. And look at all the things Chris has been public about and all the episodes he's had on his show and on social media. My mental health has my own things I deal with, but it just amazes me that these guys are talking about someone else like that.
All right, skipping ahead.
He's a ticking time bomb for them of stupidity.
Hey, don't mention the word Lars, gear, and ass, because some people might take that offensive.
Well, if you take that offensive, I got two words for you, and I'm not going to say it right now, but you can just you can think about what you want there and what those two words are. But if you're a wrestling fan, you probably know them. I got two words for you if you're thinking that, and you can quote it for yourself if you know it, Chris, because this guy's something. He's something else, man. Well,
he can't fucking speak. He cannot get a sentence out.
That was some mumbly ass shit, man. It was that was not good.
So Wangland's talking about a gay porn stuff, and now he's telling us to suck it.
But he doesn't want to say it though.
He's talking about a ticking time bomb, and he's got a ticking time bomb on his on the other line. I mean, no offense, but that's the truth that we've seen.
By the way, if Durband and Feeney take their glasses off or take their hats off for a second, it looks like I'm being fucking inducted into the Proud Boys.
Did you see the stuff with Scott Hall?
I did not. So, and just to let you guys know, these stories that John, he's reading off, we have not gone over this prior. So this is all my firsthand reactions.
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's his first-hand reaction, is it? Is that what it is? Could someone please correct that?
All right, before this next clip,
I'm going to kill
Hambone,
myself.
Hambone, remind everybody, what is John's profession?
He's a mental health counselor, and I think his right now, doesn't he specifically work with veterans, according to that thing we found on his company?
Yeah, so he probably deals with veterans and maybe drug issues, stuff like that.
Right.
So you think
a lot of depression, PTSD, anxiety.
Yeah, so you would think you'd be kind of sensitive to that kind of stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. We do this on the fly. We're not talking about it beforehand or anything. But Scott Hall this weekend, it looks like he fell off the wagon again, and it breaks my heart to see it because he was doing so well. And as somebody that has struggled with addiction, I wish him the best. And it breaks my heart to see it because it's pretty simple. If you don't want to use drugs or alcohol, don't use them. 6 years later, I'm your walking proof, and so many other people that could tell you the same thing. It's quite simple. Now, he's been doing good, but
Okay, so John Wangland just cured alcoholism forever. It's pretty simple there, man. If you don't want to use drugs or alcohol, you just don't do it. It's like, well, why didn't anybody ever say that before? By the way, don't rip anybody. You're welcome.
They should.
Hambone, I said, don't do it.
We will get out all the items that we were able to get signed as soon as possible. So,
not sure
make a long story short from this guy, Scott was incoherent again and couldn't even do the fucking signing. And how many instances of this has Scott Hall had over the years, Chris?
He makes it sound like he was personally affected by it. Like Scott Hall's doing him harm. Shut the fuck up, man.
Maybe he was signed up for that virtual meet and greet.
Yeah. We're going to skip ahead now. Thank God. Now, after all that heavy talk, they're going to do their top 5 favorite tag teams of all time. Now, John even said he's done this list before, his favorite tag teams, multiple times, but for some reason they're going to do it again.
You kick it off, Chris. Who is your number 5?
My number 5 of all time would have to be the Brainbusters with Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson. They are my number 5.
Interesting. Now, what did you like about the Brainbusters?
The Brainbusters. The Brainbusters.
I'm going to bust some brains, guys.
You know, Hambone, wasn't it weird? Like, didn't they pretty much have the same list? It was just in different orders?
It pretty much was, yes. Like, like one's 5 was 3 and vice versa.
Yeah.
But very much the same.
And you know what? That pretty much sums up their entire show. Like, whenever they do any kind of a show on any topic, they always agree with each other. They don't understand the concept of counterpoint, and debating back and forth. Whatever one of them says about anything, the other one always agrees on it. And this is a fact. This is like 100% of the time. They never have any disagreements or differing opinions on anything. You got to have 2 different viewpoints, and these guys never do that.
Yeah, there's a reason why Keeping It 100 is 17 hours long each week.
Hey,
a big fan of the Brainbusters of Tully and Arn, so I definitely would agree with what you're having to say about the Brainbusters. My number 5, Chris, is the Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys.
My number 5, Chris, is the Dudley Boys. Love the Dudley Boys, one of my all-time favorite tag teams.
Love the Dudley Boys.
Of course he does, because the Dudleys, he can fantasize about 2 different types of men. You can have the big bear fantasy, and then you can have I'm getting banged by a black dude fantasy. So it's perfect for him.
So yeah, and that was the launching pad for Bret Hart for the younger fans, wondering where Bret got his start with the WWE. That started with the Hart Foundation. So what
I
are you
love
saying,
the
brother?
Hart Foundation, Chris. One of my top 10. They're in my top 10 for sure. I think before I've had them in my top 5, but I'm kind of leaning them out a little bit. But I love the Hart Foundation too.
You're leaning them out a bit. Like,
I missed that.
I want to kill myself.
They were in your top 5, but now they're in your top 10 because you're leaning them out. Like, are there better? Yeah, it makes no fucking sense, man.
Brainbusters to the T. And John, do you think that they're like the Brainbusters reincarnated?
1,000%. They admit that they are that they try to pattern a lot of their offense, defense, whatever you want to call it in the ring, all their style. Very, very much like the Brainbusters. They were a huge influence on them, and that's why the booking with Tully as their manager in AEW makes all the sense in the world to me.
I am like, that's great. I'm blown away. Finally, a piece of information. I learned something from listening to these guys because I never, ever knew FTR patterned themselves after the Brainbusters.
Okay.
Have the same number one, and it's not because we compared, because we didn't, but I bet we have the same number one. So I'm going to let you
go ahead.
What do you think those guys have compared?
I'm willing to bet they went over this list before they went on the air.
They had to have. They have the same list. It's just different orders.
Yeah, I think Wangland gave his, and then Martin was like, I was just the same. My wife is attractive.
Which I can't say enough, my friend. Great pick.
Absolutely. I bet you we have the same number one, and it's not because we compared, because we didn't, but I bet we have the same number one. So I'm going to let you tell me who your number one pick is. And I'm sure I'm going to piggyback off you right after.
The Legion of Doom.
No doubt about it. I agree.
The Legion of Doom, they are hands down the definition of tag team wrestling. They are the ones, okay, don't get me wrong. You had the Rockers. They were selling out the arenas. They were making the money. But the Legion of Doom, they were the ones that were getting the pops. They were the ones that...
I want to punch him in the throat.
The Rockers were an opening tag team.
Yeah,
the arenas.
Yeah.
This is what makes this so bad. By the way, I'm not recording again until Christmas. Just letting you know.
We do have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we got enough in the can.
That's inexcusable. This is so fucking boring. And this is the thing that they'll put this out, and they really still expect everybody else to believe the whole, they're massive. It's a huge show all around the world.
Were getting the fans that were wanting to paint their faces. They were the ones that had the girls fainting and the guys saying that they want to be them or they want to kick their ass. You look at the definition of badass tag team in the dictionary, and you're going to have a Legion of Doom there, man. And
I don't ever remember any stories of the Road Warriors getting women, like on a horseman level. Come on, dude.
I mean, I think Animal was married all along, and Hawk was, more interested in partying. He wasn't, but just from, my little bit of knowledge of the Road Warriors and whatnot, like this is it's way off.
Yeah.
I know exactly where he heard it. Tess told him.
Yeah.
Have no fear. Go back and look at SummerSlam 92 when they came out on those motorcycles at Wembley Stadium. That place blew up. Road Warriors were over, to quote Donald Trump, huge.
Yeah.
They're definitely my number one, Chris.
All right.
We're gonna get back to the roots of one of the shows that we've done here on Wrestling with Reality for a good period of time. Richie and I started it, and me and you are going to continue on with it. So we're going to go back to Monday Night Lights, and we're going to pick up where we left off a few months back, probably about 4 or 5 months ago, and we left off right at Fall Brawl 96. So we're going to revisit Monday Night Lights because I miss watching WCW. It's been a lot of fun. Me and Chris have been talking about doing it for a little bit here because we're both WCW fans as well. So we're going to pick up in the next week or so on our Monday Night Lights, and we're going to start right back at Fall Brawl 96. And what it is, it's a chronological order of what we were doing in the Monday Night Wars. So we'll watch every episode of Monday Nitro, all the pay-per-views that will go along with it. I've missed doing it.
And ladies and gentlemen, the cool part about it is that this is the beginning of the transformation of Sting from the beach, beach body guy with the colorful paste paint and the blonde hair to the Crow Sting. So this is the slow transformation to that. So this is a very exciting time within the history of WCW. Many consider it the greatest time in the history of WCW. So we're going to be so excited for you to join us.
Now, I listened to this yesterday, and I must have missed something because Hambone smartened me up to this one part that I missed. So thank you, Hambone.
Definitely.
Here, it's coming up right here.
It's a fun time to go through and watch because some of it's fucking horrible. And you think it's so good, and you get there and it's horrible shit, Chris. And it's just starting to pick up now. Like Richie and I would talk about when we were doing it. We're like, we thought we remember this being much better. The beginning of the NWO was cool, but some of the things they were getting out of at this point in time is some of the cheesiest shit you'll ever see.
Yeah, Hambone.
What I thought was so funny about this little monologue, he's talking about, okay, we're going to watch this stuff. We were fans of this stuff. And he's talking about the beginning of the NWO. And then he says, oh, yeah, a lot of this stuff was horrible.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny.
But what Wangland said there is almost word for word something that Disco said on Keeping It 100 this week or last week. So it seems like some bastard is listening to K100.
And we always had a lot of fun on there doing it. So we're going to continue on with it. Anybody else, who's a fan of WCW, you'll see if they want to come on. Maybe Sonny wants to do some stuff. Maybe some other people out there want to come on and do a little bit with WCW and do some watch alongs and some Nitro and pay-per-views with us. So we always throw it out there. If you want to come on and have fun with that, if you like it, let us know.
Yeah, that's the part that Hambone pointed out to me.
I love that part because he doesn't have anybody else to say besides Sonny at this point.
Throwing out the thing, throwing out the lure or whatever, and the bait, because he is a master baiter.
Yeah.
But he's really like, but his desperation shows like, hey, you can come on the show. Anyone wants to come on, they can come on. It's like, what if they're boring? What if they get you bad shit? It's like, I don't give a fuck. Just please talk to me, please.
I think, I don't know if it's well known, but amongst ourselves, we all know that, I know Mike's going back through Nitro and Hughesy's a big WCW fan. I am as well. I'm assuming
me
him.
too.
So, but I'll direct this to Hughes first. Can you imagine anything else in the world that would make you hate watching WCW than trying to do a watch along with these guys? Can you
but
ruining the whole thing?
Yeah, but to be fair, they would be really interested in doing it because they would have so much insight and from personal experience that they could add stories to.
We thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed both of our wrestling shows this week that we did, the part 1 and part 2. And we'll be back definitely with lots of great content this week. We'll be back with some football this week. We're going to make up for missing the football last week. We both just had a ton of commitments, and there's a lot of topics to talk about. So if you're into the football side of it, come back, check out Friday's show. Friday, Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon latest it comes out. You'll have it before Sunday NFL. I know there's a game on Thursdays, but it's with our schedules, we can usually only get up and tape it on late Thursday nights or Friday nights. So you'll have it out by Saturday afternoon, definitely by kickoff time. And we apologize for not getting it out this last week, but we'll make up for it this week.
Thank God, because I was not going to start watching football tomorrow unless I heard this episode come out about their opinions on the football games this week.
I know there's a game on Thursday, but go fuck yourselves. It's the greatest thing ever. I know there's a game on Thursdays, but whatever. Fuck it. We're not going to worry about that. We're just going to do what we want.
I know Fat Coon was really upset that they didn't release that football show last week.
Yeah. Well, tons of people were upset when that episode didn't load up, so they couldn't hear those two football experts' opinions on the games.
And they were supposed to have mean tweets too this past week.
Where's that? Oh, that was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah, they have a lot of commitment. They have a lot of prior commitments. It's hard to
commit to jump on another interview.
They both should be committed.
Yeah. So again, my apologies to you three guys for having to go through this torture, but it's all worth it in the end. The viewers love it. It's fun to watch it back when it's all edited, but my God, listening to this stuff, and I had to listen to the whole episode raw. It's not easy, man. You guys only had to hear the clips.
But the thing, it's not only just the actual conversation is bad. It's the fact that they keep agreeing, as one of you losers said, one of you Proud Boys said. So there's no debate. There's nothing like if you listen to the Jamie Irwin show, it's what's your favorite, so you can debate on each thing. Mm-hmm. This is just two fucking marks agreeing for an hour. Nothing comes from it, and the fact that they genuinely think that they have listeners for real it's worse than, let's say, Martin's spine.
It's hard to even like come up with jokes for this one because it's just so dry.
It's just so bad. It's just like, dude. And now comes the even harder part where I have to go listen to this shit for a third time and edit it all. Oh,
you deserve a medal.
Please go to prowrestlingtees.com/Mike Durbin.
Yes.
All right.
The enjoyment I get out of it is when people comment and like it and share it and discuss it. So put your favorite quotes from these episodes in the comments below. If you're not subscribed yet to the channel, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. Oh, and if you want to get my Go shirt, I believe there's two varieties right now.
Yeah, there's gonna be more than I'm gonna do a Go Get Him and a Go Get Go. The Russo variations.
I want the cartoon face, but you said that the quality's not good enough. But anyway, contact Mike for those. That is not a profiting venture either, so don't even think about
non-profit.
I know we're running out of time here. I just want to say that it's you guys watching don't realize how long we recorded today and what the order was and everything. I've just been watching the life drain from Hughesy's face for like the last 45 minutes. Like, woo!
Yeah,
poor guy.
All right, everyone, we're out.
He's a closeted homosexual